Welcome back, everyone. With the coronavirus health crisis affecting all of us in different ways, some of us not able to hold parties or social gatherings, others not able to work, and then there's those who've traveled out of state rather, only to learn that once they return home, they'd have to self-quarantine legally for 14 days. I spoke with Audrey Chavarria, a New Mexico resident who traveled out of state in late March. Little did she know that her flight would leave just less than 48 hours after a new order by the governor. By the time she got home, the world as she knew it had been changed completely. Tell me, why did you have to travel and when was this?
I traveled on March 29th, was a Sunday, the day that I left. I had to go to Virginia. My grandson was having a procedure done on his heart, and my son is deployed in Japan, and we didn't have anyone to stay with my other grandkids. So my daughter-in-law stayed at the hospital with my grandson, and I stayed with the kids. She lives on base in Virginia. When I left, everything was well, not normal, but everything was okay for me to leave, and I didn't have any problems. On my connecting flights, I didn't have any problems when I left.
So when you came back home, though, you didn't have any problems getting there. You're trying to get back home. Tell me what happened then.
Okay, so my flight was changed. I had to come back earlier than I was scheduled to. So I was scheduled to leave on the 5th, I believe, of April, which was a Sunday, but they changed my flight to Thursday, so I had to cut my visit short. My grandson was out of the hospital, so that was good. And then they rerouted my connecting flight. I was originally going to land in Dallas, and they rerouted us to Chicago, and then to Charlotte, and then finally to El Paso.
And so when you landed in El Paso, what happened at that moment?
So we landed and we pulled up to the gate, and an officer came into the plane, and he said, when you exit the plane, you need to exit to the left, and we have some papers here that we need you to sign. There will be officers out here, and we have some papers for you to sign, and the governor had ordered a mandatory 14-day quarantine for anybody who had traveled to the East Coast.
And that was,
well, I think who had traveled at all.
And that was for residents of Texas, correct? Because you were in El
Yes.
Paso.
Mm-hmm.
What did you tell them?
I said, I don't live here. I don't live in Texas. I live in New Mexico. And so he told me to hang on, and he went and he asked somebody, and then they said, well, go ahead and sign it. Maybe somebody from White Sands will want to come and make sure that you're in quarantining.
So you left them your address, and you told them who you were living with at that time.
Yes.
Did you think somebody may come and check on you the next 14
I thought
days?
so, yes. I thought they would come. Yeah, because he was pretty adamant that, I needed to sign that paper, and then I needed to make sure that I was at my house when they come and check. Otherwise, he said it could be as serious as, being sent to a facility to quarantine to make sure that you don't leave.
Now, obviously here in New Mexico, the governor had ordered a self-quarantine for 14 days. So for what you've experienced the last couple of weeks, nobody has gone to see you yet, right?
No. I mean, I think we shouldn't just trust that someone is going to do it. I think we should make sure somehow that, the people who did travel are, doing the 14 days. I just don't know how they would do it. They told me that it would be someone from White Sands, maybe a soldier. I was assuming. I don't know, but they didn't. So far, no one has come knocking on my door.
But have you left your home?
No, I have not.
So you've stuck to this quarantine.
Yes, tomorrow is my last day, but I still have nowhere to go. It's still kind of scary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tell me, when the officers pulled you guys off the plane and explained the quarantine process, was that enough to get you a little bit on edge to say, I'm going to stay home until this is over?
Yes. Yes, just because, them threatening to, either put you in a facility or something. If you don't do it, then, I told them I will stay home. I will not leave. I will not go anywhere. But that doesn't mean that the other 7 people that were on the plane did the same thing.
Were you a little concerned anyway, coming back, potentially being carrying the coronavirus with you?
Yes, I was. When the base that my daughter-in-law lives at, there were 2 people that were on base that had been infected, and then one of the wives of one of the soldiers did pass away, and I think another person since I left has passed away. So it was really scary, and especially with my, for my grandbabies, and then one of them has, a heart problem, so it was really scary. I washed my hands a lot at the airport. The airports are really, really dead. Even the huge Chicago airport, it's really dead. But I washed my hands a lot, and they don't serve you on the plane anymore. It's just, everything is really, really different. But it seems to have worked. I haven't had any symptoms at all the whole 14 days, and tomorrow is my last day.
And you're ready to be free of this quarantine.
Yes. Well, to feel free, I guess. I really still don't want to go anywhere.
Audrey, I want to thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Now, Audrey says new orders coming down seemingly every other day. She was unaware of the travel quarantine order. She was never opposed of it, as you just heard, but she hopes that others do comply. Now, I did speak with state officials about the checkups. They said the self-quarantine is based on trust, but if someone does report you, there can be bigger consequences, so be aware of that. All right, we have headlines and weather coming up after the break.